Right now, as you watch this, something has been building quietly inside your body for years. And the frustrating part, your annual checkup probably missed it, not because your doctor is careless, but because what happens to a woman's blood pressure after 50 does not always show up in a single clinic reading. It shows up in patterns, in moments, in sensations you have been dismissing as just getting older, that number on your blood pressure monitor. By the end of this video, you will finally understand what it is actually telling you and what it is not. Stay with me, because what I am about to share changes how you see every single reading you have ever gotten. Let me ask you something first. Have you felt that low, dull pressure at the back of your neck, usually in the afternoon, and just pushed through it? Have you stood up too quickly and felt the room shift for just a second? Have you checked your blood pressure, seen a number that concerned you, then checked it again an hour later and gotten something completely different? Have you ever sat in your doctor's office, been told your numbers are a little high, and walked out with a prescription but no real explanation? If any of that sounds familiar, this video is for you, not because something is terribly wrong, but because your body has been communicating something that nobody has properly translated for you yet. And you deserve that translation. Here is where we start. After age 50, and especially after menopause, your blood vessels begin to lose their elasticity. The walls of your arteries, which once stretched and rebounded smoothly with every heartbeat, gradually become stiffer, less responsive, more resistant. This is not a disease. This is not a failure. This is biology, and it is happening inside millions of women right now who have absolutely no idea it is occurring. But here is what makes this specific to you as a woman, and this is the part most general health content completely misses. Before menopause, your body had a built-in cardiovascular protector working quietly every single day. When estrogen was present in full supply, your blood vessels stayed more flexible, more responsive, better at opening and relaxing when your heart needed them to. Think of it this way. When estrogen begins to decline, the walls of your blood vessels gradually lose some of that flexibility. They become stiffer, less able to adapt, and your heart has to work harder to push blood through them. That is where the rising numbers begin. Doctors call this isolated systolic hypertension. It is the most common form of high blood pressure in women over 55. And in most cases, it is not caused by what you ate or how much you exercised. It is caused by a hormonal shift your body went through, whether you were ready for it or not. This is not your fault. Now I want you to hold on to something, because we are coming back to it in a few minutes, and it is going to completely reframe how you monitor your blood pressure at home. There is a pattern hidden inside your daily readings that most women never see. But once you understand what to look for, you will never read your numbers the same way again. We will get there. Keep watching. Here is something most blood pressure conversations leave out entirely. Your kidneys play a direct role in regulating your blood pressure. They do this through a continuous feedback system that monitors fluid levels in your body and adjusts accordingly. After 50, this system can shift. Kidneys begin signaling the body to hold onto more sodium and fluid than it actually needs. And more fluid volume in your bloodstream means more pressure pushing against your vessel walls. This is why two women can eat the same food, live the same lifestyle, carry the same weight, and have completely different blood pressure numbers after menopause. One woman's internal regulating system tipped. The other one did not. The difference is often not behavior. It is biology, and that matters deeply. Because if you have been quietly blaming yourself for numbers that will not budge, stop. Your body is not broken. It is responding to a complex biological shift that most medical appointments are far too short to explain. Now, there is a third layer to this. And this one is the reason your readings feel so unpredictable, and why this particular piece of information may be the most practical thing you take from this entire video. Your nervous system, the part that runs your heart rate and blood vessel tone automatically, without you consciously thinking about it, also becomes less stable after menopause. This creates something researchers call blood pressure variability. Your numbers fluctuate more widely throughout the day, not because something is dangerously wrong, but because your internal regulator is now operating with less hormonal support than it used to have. A difficult phone call raises your pressure. Standing up suddenly drops it. A cold morning changes it. Stepping into a warm room changes it. Sitting in a clinic waiting room, slightly anxious, after driving through traffic, changes it. This is why a single blood pressure reading at a routine checkup tells you almost nothing meaningful on its own. You sat in a waiting room. You may have been anxious. You may have had coffee 2 hours before. That number is not your blood pressure story. It is one sentence in a much longer paragraph. And now I am going to show you how to read that paragraph properly for 7 consecutive days. Do this. Morning, before food, before coffee, before any physical activity. Sit quietly for 5 full minutes. Then take your reading. Write it down evening before bed. After you have been still and calm for a few minutes, take it again. Write it down. Also write down whether the day was stressful, whether you had caffeine, whether you were particularly active or particularly sedentary. At the end of 7 days, you do not have a number. You have a pattern. And a pattern is what actually tells you, and your doctor, something real. Consistent readings above 130/80 across multiple days and multiple different conditions. That is information worth bringing to your next appointment. A single high reading after a difficult afternoon is not a crisis. It is biology doing exactly what biology does. You are now equipped to tell the difference. Now let us talk about what you can genuinely do, based on what the research actually supports for women in your age group. Not miracle claims. Not supplements with impossible promises. Not fear. Science. Movement first. 30 minutes of brisk walking 5 days a week has been shown in multiple peer-reviewed studies to produce measurable reductions in systolic blood pressure in postmenopausal women. The reason it works is twofold. It gradually improves the flexibility of your vascular walls over time. And it reduces your resting sympathetic nervous system activity, meaning your body spends less time in that low-grade state of tension and alert that quietly keeps your pressure elevated throughout the day. You do not need a gym. You do not need an expensive program. You need consistent movement and a pair of shoes. Resistance training also matters here, and this is significantly underreported in women's health conversations. Building and maintaining muscle mass after 50 directly improves your insulin sensitivity, which is biologically linked to how well your body regulates blood pressure. After menopause, muscle loss accelerates. Even modest resistance work, bodyweight exercises, light weights, resistance bands at home, begins to reverse that trajectory in ways that cardiovascular exercise alone cannot. Now nutrition. The most evidence-backed nutritional pattern for blood pressure in postmenopausal women is called the DASH approach, and it is not a complicated diet. It prioritizes potassium-rich foods, bananas, sweet potatoes, leafy greens, beans, lentils. It reduces sodium. It increases magnesium through whole grains, seeds, and legumes. It emphasizes lean proteins and unsaturated fats. Here is the specific piece most women are missing entirely. Potassium directly counteracts the sodium-retaining effect of that kidney system shift we discussed earlier. Most women in their 50s and 60s are significantly underconsuming potassium, not because they are making poor choices, but because nobody ever told them it was a cardiovascular priority. Now you know. Sleep. I need you to really hear this one because it is the lifestyle factor most consistently underestimated in every blood pressure conversation, including conversations with doctors. During deep sleep, your cardiovascular system undergoes its nightly recovery process. Blood pressure naturally drops during this period. This drop is not just rest. It is protection. It is your body repairing and regulating itself in ways it simply cannot do while you are awake. Research shows that women who consistently sleep fewer than 6 hours of quality sleep lose this nightly blood pressure dip. Their 24-hour average pressure rises as a result, not because of anything they did during the day, but because of what their body did not get to do at night. Sleep disruption after menopause is extremely common. Hormonal changes alter sleep architecture. Night waking, lighter sleep, trouble falling back asleep, these are biological. They are not weakness. And their cardiovascular consequences are real. Protecting your sleep is protecting your heart. Those are not separate conversations. Stress regulation. Chronic psychological stress keeps cortisol and adrenaline elevated. Both of those compounds increase heart rate and cause blood vessels to constrict. Over time, repeated activation of this stress response accelerates exactly the arterial stiffening we discussed at the very beginning of this video. Here is what the evidence supports specifically. Slow diaphragmatic breathing, where your exhale is longer than your inhale, activates the calming branch of your nervous system within minutes. Not hours. Minutes. Studies on mindfulness-based stress reduction show measurable reductions in blood pressure in postmenopausal women after consistent daily practice. You do not need an app. You do not need a course. You need 5 minutes of intentional breathing every day and the understanding that this is not just relaxation. This is your nervous system being given the signal that it is safe to lower its guard. That signal has a direct physiological effect on your blood pressure. I want to say something to you directly before we close. You have spent decades taking care of other people, managing everything, pushing through, quietly adjusting, and now your body is asking for something different. Not less from you, but more attention turned inward. More curiosity about what is happening inside, not just outside. The women who move through this phase of life most powerfully are not the ones who worry the least. They are the ones who understand the most, who walk into their doctor's office with real data and real questions, who stop dismissing the signals their body sends and start learning what those signals actually mean. That is who you are right now. You are not fragile. You are not declining. You are in a complex biological transition, and you are now equipped to move through it with intelligence, not fear. Your body is not working against you. It is working hard under new conditions, and it deserves a partner who understands what it is going through. That partner is you if you are over 50 and serious about understanding your body long before symptoms become serious problems. This channel was built specifically for you. Every week we bring you science-based, accurate, deeply respectful health education for women in this stage of life. The biology your body is living, explained clearly, without exaggeration, without condescension, and without selling you anything your body does not actually need. Subscribe. And share this video with a woman in your life who is navigating these changes in silence, because silence is the only thing that makes this harder than it needs to be.